Don't worry about the sunglasses. When I look in the monitor to look at myself and record myself, I have to look at my ghostly figure, and it just blinds me. So this is the barrier between us, as you can see. Like, it's preventing me from looking at this with my bare eyes. That was kind of Shane Dawson, wasn't it? I love Adventure Time. Fiona and Cake Season 2 just came out. I watched the first episode with my friends. It is fantastic, but I'm not going to talk about that yet. I will talk about how good it is later. Hold on. This is important. There's one thing about the episode that I didn't like. In fact, there's actually one thing about Fiona and Cake that's been bothering me from the very beginning. For context, one of my favorite characters in the show, in Adventure Time in general, is Princess Bubblegum. I and Twitter have had some things to say about Gary Gumball. Gary Gumball. I don't really like him in the new episode, I'm gonna be honest, and I didn't really feel anything about him in the last season of Fiona and Cake either. My favorite version of Prince Gumball was the very first one, when they first put out the first episode of Fiona and Cake, in which he gets, like, impersonated by Ice Queen or something. I don't know. So, I don't even know if it was him. And they also had Neil Patrick Harris as him, which I know that's a hard grab. You don't have to bring back Neil Patrick Harris, okay? That's not my issue. And I'm also not necessarily blaming the voice actors either, or the creative team. I just feel like the issue was at the source. So we're gonna go back. Okay, we're gonna take it back, and we're gonna look at this. We're gonna examine it together. When you look at the characters in Fiona and Cake, you will notice that they are almost the same character, except gender bent, which means they are the opposite gender as they are in the original series, and they have a couple things that are opposite. So they're both the same and different. For example, Marshall Lee, the Vampire King, has a guitar axe instead of a bass axe like Marceline, the Vampire Queen. Fiona obviously has, like, bunny ears rather than the little bear ears. Cake is a cat. So when they approached Princess Bubblegum and they made her a man, their thing that they changed for her was to make her into a baker. Which I guess makes sense because she's a scientist, and people say that baking is a science. So it's actually really smart that she makes her Candy Kingdom with science, candy science, and Prince Gumball also makes his kingdom with candy science, but it's baking. So it's like the same but different, like we said. And it's not necessarily that it was a bad way to go. It's just taken a few too many steps away from the source material, I feel. So much so that throughout the first season of Fiona and Cake, this oncoming second season, and then the first season of Fiona and Cake, or the first episodes of Fiona and Cake, excuse me. Throughout all that, I just feel like he has changed every single time, and he's never been consistent. So my favorite character in Fiona and Cake has never been consistent, has never been portrayed in the way that I enjoy, other than when he was literally being impersonated by Ice Queen. So, youch. So what does this have to do with the baking thing? I just think that a lot of the appeal with Princess Bubblegum is that she's a scientist, she's very scientific, she's very smart, she's very left-brained, and she's kind of like, for lack of a better word, neurodivergent. And I just don't get any of that from Gumball at all. And he doesn't have to be the same, but he's just not like her at all. Maybe like a little bit, but then it just falls flat every time, and I get disappointed every time. I just think they should have gone harder with the scientific part of the baking, if they were going to do it at all. And the other thing about Princess Bubblegum is that she's, like, defensive. She doesn't take shit, okay? She fights for stuff. And in the new episode, I saw people commenting about this on Twitter, by the way, so I'm glad I wasn't the only one. In the new episode, spoilers, they like open a lot, which is like, I don't even know if they like paid for the land or if they just plopped down on a lot and were like, this is ours. We saved your city, so it's ours now. And then the queen is like, no, yoink, because obviously this is, I'm sorry, did we like go through the city? Like, did we pay for this lot, or did we just, anyway, when the lot gets taken, he's like, no, my stuff. And as people on Twitter pointed out, that's not what Bubblegum would be like. She'd be like, fuck you, give me back my shit. And then she would whip out the receipts and be like, look at this, I paid for this land. I used legal tender to pay for this land. And then Marceline would be like, oh, my stuff. The only thing that I thought was in character about that part was that, like, Gumball was like, oh no, my dream. And then Marshall Lee was like, that's my fucking house. They just took my house. And Gumball didn't give a shit. He didn't comment on that at all. He's like, my dream. That's in character. There you go. Anyway, enough about Gary, okay? I'm hoping that I hope he redeems himself, okay? And by the way, he's not very, like, Princess Bubblegum isn't very romantic either. She shows her love in, like, very different ways. Like, the fact that provably she loved her shirt that Marceline gave her more than Marceline loved Hambo, which is, like, the most important thing in Marceline's entire life. The fact that Princess Bubblegum loved Marceline's shirt more than that, insane to me to this day. And Marceline I don't even think she knows about that, which is just, I don't know if they revisited that, I don't remember. And I just don't get that from Gary. It just seems like he's very forward with his love, which is just not in character. I don't know if anyone's understanding what I'm saying here. Anyway, the episode was fucking amazing, maybe even better than the first season. Like, it was so good, it was so cozy, it was so slice of life, it was beautiful. I want to make that entire scene in my Minecraft world. It was gorgeous. I hope they add more songs to the season, but if they don't, it's okay, because it's been so good, that one episode. Except for that one thing. And also, I have a really bad memory. That's something about me. I have a terrible memory. I only remember the boringest part of series, so that rewatching things is really boring, because I remember all the boring shit. So only when the exciting stuff happens, I'm like, yay! And then it goes back to boring stuff, and I'm like, God, I remember this. But the one thing that I remember pretty well is Adventure Time. This is the one thing. This is the one thing that I have. So watching Fiona and Cake and seeing all the references is just, it's like, ooh. I love watching it with my friends and being like, oh my God, and they're like, God, this guy's so fucking annoying. But they get the references too. It's okay. They get the references too, for the most part. But, like, there's a couple cameos, a couple, like, really niche Adventure Time characters that show up in the new Fiona and Cake season. Even if for just a second. My favorite one was, like, Madam Cutter, or whatever her name is. I'm not going to say who the alternate to that character is in Adventure Time. You got to watch it yourself. But, man, it's just so good. It's just so good. I just hope that they redeem Gary, because I fucking hate him right now. I genuinely fucking hate him. He was a little bit better last season, but even then I was like, man, like, Marshall Lee is fine, but, like, he isn't really doing much, like, Anyway, it's 4 a.m. I'm probably waking up my family, so I'm gonna go. Goodbye. Pardon my cozy appearance. I had another little nugget pop into my head and I wanted to share here. I was thinking about Gumball again. It's a travesty. Not to sound like the friend that's too woke, I just kind of hate when there's a character who's gay, like a gay man specifically, and they're like, his personality is that he's gay. He loves his boyfriend. He is gay. He sounds gay. He acts gay. He dresses gay. He is gay. This man is gay. He is a gay man. And I feel like they don't do that with lesbians. Maybe they do. I don't know. Lesbians, let me know. But I feel like with the gay guys, I mean, I feel like this is one of the issues in like Has Been Hotel as well. Don't come for me. Don't come for me. And by the way, I've only seen the first episode of Fiona and Cake season 2, so I'm not saying that that's what they did to Gumball, like 100%. It feels like they took away any chance of him having a personality, and they were just like, he's gay. Let's make sure everyone knows. Hey guys, he's gay. All right, peace.